Now, if you're in the market for a lower budget pole, you're going to want to watch this video, because behind me here I've got a brand new pole. So I'm going to show you what I've got, why I've got it, and go through the package you can get with the pole which I've got. So here it is in its packaging. Now let's see what we've got inside of the package. So what top kits we got, what pole we've got, and also let's run through why we've got it. Now let's get this open, see what's inside, and run through all of it. Right, so let's get this open and see what we've got inside. So what I've got here is a brand new pole, so I'm just going to take all these off. Literally, you can see, if you went out to buy one now, this is what you get as your package. So let's get stuck into it. Oh, I just cut my hand off in the process. So this is what you get from the shop. So maybe asking why have I got a new pole? Because obviously I currently use an X55, and without banging on like the usual, I was the best in the business and it's the best I've ever used, it is a brilliant pole, but there's scenarios and stuff on the bank which I feel like a cheaper end pole is a better option for me. So why I've got that, and I do a lot of fishing, that's one thing. So what I like to do is mix up, slide that out of the way, mix up my poles when I use them. So if I'm fishing, say here on the clay pit, I'd rather use a lower end budget pole, just because you can get in snags, bigger fish. I just have a little bit more confidence with that. But I'm not saying that my X95 won't be able to handle that, because obviously I've used it in videos and stuff, and fishing at places like Larford, Hayfield and deep water, all over scenarios. But I just feel like, because I do a lot of fishing, I like to swap my poles over, so when I'm not wearing anything out, I can get loads of use out of it, 2 or 3 years out of a pole, obviously before the new range comes out. But this is what I've gone for. Now, recently I had, just put that in my pocket, a Superium carp. So I've probably had that since it come out, and I've used it, obviously I used it in the Golden Reel final. I've used it, like I said, in them scenarios before, and it's a nice little pole. It's got loads of strength, but it's coming to the time where it's obviously I need to upgrade it. It's getting a bit old now, it's getting a bit wear and the joints are going. So I've got a brand new, but like a big reveal. Well, that's going to be a bit of a letdown for the reveal because it's covered in wrapping, but I've got, I should have thought about actual being the tape on it. But this is how you get it when it comes. So you get a nice big hard case as well. Oh, and you get stuck in all fingers and thumbs now. Try and get in. Just spin it round. I can tell the anticipation and the weight on your sort of face, but no one's bothered. Get off the end, slide that off. There's a slide off. I've got a Superium X55. So you may be thinking, why have I gone for this sort of range? Now, when I've actually tested these poles, went to do some photos at Tunnel Barn, and obviously I fell in love with the 95, but I've got a brand new X55 there. So what I'll do, just show you. X55. So this is how it comes when you get your packaging. This is one of the main reasons why I wanted to show this today. It's got, let's put the bung back on. Try and do this with camera. Put the bung back on. So this is the main reasons why I wanted to do this today, is because I've got, trying to make a load of rubbish everywhere. I just want to show the package you get with it. If whether you're looking to upgrade from, like, say a 35 or a lower one, say like a 15, or you've had a 10 or a 15 in the past, you're looking to upgrade, and you're thinking, I know people's budgets aren't, you're not going to go out and spend, if you don't want to spend sort of like 2 to 3 grand on a pole, then you see on the bank often it's like, oh, I can't afford to spend that. So this is what we're going to run through. You're going to see the package which you get for, obviously I think it's about 1600 quid. Don't quote me, I'm not too sure of what the price is ideally, but I know it's in that range of sort of poles. It might be even cheaper than that, I'm not really sure, but we can go through what we've got in there. So for the pole itself, so you've got 3 sections there. I'm not going to unwrap the 14 and 16 metre section, so, but I know there will be in this pole here, obviously in your number 3 sections, there's a top kit there, so that is a standard match kit, just with no puller bungs. So little, what I mean by match kit, it's got at the end there, it's got a little different PTFE, a little bit thinner, so all your lighter elastics, so like your single 6s, your single 8s, or your smaller sizes, jaw, slipping hollow, are going to go in there. So that's what we got, but you've obviously got the nose cones at the end there, so that helps protect when the pole goes together. So I'll just show you. So when your poles go together, instead of just clunking your sections together, which can cause it to chip and crack, it literally slides in, turns in nice, line up the arrows so it's got the best performance, and away you go there. So that's one little feature that goes up to the number 5 section. So obviously the next section after your top kit with this pole is straight after your top kit is a number 3, then number 4, and then number 5. So that the first 3 sections get them nose cones, so they're nice and protected in there. So obviously all slide in there. So you get a nice little covers as well, so when it's in your pole case, it's not going to rub up against each other and knock and cause cracks and stuff. It's nicely protected in there. I'm just going to move that around. You get a strap, a couple of cups for your cupping kit, so there you go on that bit there, and your cupping kit. Now I'll go on to that cupping kit in a minute, because it is sort of like a unique cupping kit which is helpful with short and long kits as well. So I'll chuck that back there, just try and manoeuvre this around so we can get everything out of the way. Bit all over the show, but yeah, that'll be a 14 or 15 metre section. I'll take it off actually. You can see. So I just wanted to do a little video. What I'll do is I'll probably do like, let's see, obviously it's brand new, I've not actually used it yet. But what I'll do is I'll do like a little section, just put that there. As I'm going through, I'm going to use this a lot more for the winter months. There you go. Try not to cut my fingers on that. Put it in pocket. Do a few more in the winter months, so we're going to go through it all. Just trying a bit conscious of this rubbish going everywhere. So you also, so what you find is people with the nose cones are actually numbered, so that's like 47, so that's like a 47 mil, and then 49 goes on either end, so it keeps it nice and compact. So you can see when it goes in to your case there, it's not going to bash around and not going to clunk into each other. So that's really important when you can keep your sections. That's hard up against each other there. Now you can see there's obviously a gap in between the pole, so I'm not going to unwrap that because I'm not going to spend hours unwrapping the other sections as well. But there's obviously a gap in between your pole, which is really important, just so it doesn't knock and crash into each other on transport. Say if you do drop your hard case by accident, it's not going to cause damage to your pole, which is important. You also get a butt section, so when you're fishing a little bit further out. Now if you're still watching this video, I'm going to treat you to a little competition. So do you fancy winning a set of rigs which I recently used to win the match up at Hampton Springs? It was a live match which I filmed on my YouTube channel and using these floats, the XS F1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to personally tie you 2 of each, of a 4x10 and a 4x12, and get it sent out to you. So all you've got to do to enter this competition is comment below what you'd use these floats for. Would it be meat fishing short in the spring, maggots like I used on Meadow up at Hampton Springs? You tell me where you're going to be fishing with them and what you're going to be doing with them, and I'll pick a winner at random, just as a little thank you for staying tuned in this middle of the video, and I do appreciate it. So get commenting below, little competition to win a little set of these floats which I've loved using recently. So I'll let you get back to the new pole. Tissue paper everywhere. A little bit further out and you want something behind you, or you want to get a little bit further, just a little butt section just to keep your joints. Or what you can find is, say you are fishing up to fences, what you can find at a lot of fisheries with fences, obviously for protection or boundaries, is if you don't want to chip away at your old 13, 14 or 16 metre section, you can just put a little butt section in, rest it up against that. So if it goes against anything, you're protecting your good sections. I know this is still going to be not as expensive as these sections here, so just a little protection. Slide that in there, but gives you a little bit extra length as well. Now, I don't actually know what the kit package is with this, so it's going to be like a nice little surprise. So when we go through it, like I said, this is what you get when you get your kit. So we've got one match kit there. I'm going to try and find what we've got. So we've got, that's a carp kit. We'll just work it out. 2 short kits. Now go there. Nice grey ones as well. That's an F1 kit. That is a carp kit. So this is going to be designed for like a cooking kit, for like your commercial sort of needs. So if you're like a club angler where you go to a lot of different venues, or an angler which travels about different venues on festivals and stuff, you're going to need a few different top kits and a few different scenarios where you're going to need a few different bits of elastic and stuff. So that's one match kit. Right, so we've got, in the package, we've got 2 short kits there. We've got a cupping kit, I'll run through that in a minute. We've got 1 match kit, 2 F1 kits, and 3 carp kits. So, you get obviously 5, you get obviously 8 kits altogether with it. So 3 carp kits, 2 F1 kits, 2 short kits for like your shallow fishing, and a match kit as well. So say if, for example, I'd be looking to fish like 15s holler, 17s holler, a lot stronger elastics through the carp kits, and they also come obviously PTFE bushed, and you get a roller puller as well. But this one's a little bit different on the carp ones. It's a bigger size, so you sometimes, instead of just looking in your like when you're looking in your bag, if you look at your roller puller, you can see what sort of elastic you're looking at as well, instead of rooting through and finding names. Now for your F1 sort of kits, you could probably get away because of the bush, the size at the end, with a lot stronger elastic in them. But I personally like anything from probably a 9 up into a 13 for this sort of range. If you're going to go a bit higher, then you're going to obviously want some carp kits just to make sure. Your match kits, like I said, it's got a smaller piece there. Not smaller piece, much smaller piece FE, so it's a lot thinner. Obviously a lot more responsive, so if you do a bit of still fish fishing and you want to fish a bit lighter, especially this time of year, I feel like that's really important, because obviously lighter elastic, it's getting cooler now, you want to try and get in and if everything in, if you're fishing for small roach, little skimmers, maybe on rivers, canals, commercials like we are today, then that's what you're going to need. Also, you get 2 short kits, so your F1 fishing, so if you need like to put anything from probably 7s hollow up until I've used them to 15 Jura slip in them this year, so you can get away. But also there's obviously inch markers on everything, so on the short kits, which is really important with obviously your F1 fishing, but also it's on your carp kits, your match kits and your F1 kits. But when you're picking them, it's all about obviously inch increments. So if you're looking for depth shallow fishing, or you're going to venues and you're just trying to make like a basic guide for how working out what you're going to need, so sort of like just getting a rough guide at venues where you've gone on festivals, like you get a little notebook, write out, oh it was 3 foot deep there, or it was 4 foot deep there. That gives you a rough idea, so it gives you a little head start when you go into sort of matches. That's why I think they're invaluable, them like inch markers. Just know, say if you're on a match the week before and you caught, say, dobbing for this time of year, you probably caught like, say, 2 foot deep. Well, you know, roughly that's where I'm going to start. You might be going a little bit deeper. It just gives you a nice little guide and nice little statement of how you're going to, where you've caught before, and like obviously correct statement of the depth and stuff. Now, this is a really interesting one, the cupping kit, because obviously you've got 2 different lengths of kits here. You've got a short kit and you've got a long kit. But now, with this, you get 2 different sorts of number one pieces, should you say. So you can see there, they both fit on that section, which I'll just demonstrate for you. That's the only problem when you've got a new pole, you have to take everything apart and take all the little bits off that protect it. So that'd be ideal for your short kit. So if I line that up now, keep it in line, short kit's going to go on there. Now, if I need to, obviously, it's probably, I'll tell you how much difference it is. The difference is just under 2 foot, so just under 22-inch difference. So that pops on the end of there. So then you've got, obviously, when you want a big pot, say some ground bait for like skimmers and balls, or you're big potting some corn or anything in the dead maggots in the margin, you've got obviously the kit which will match obviously your top kits to that as well. So that's an ideal thing. So you don't need sort of like 2 different kits. Now, years ago, because I obviously fish with my F1 fishing a lot, I had to literally glue a piece so I could use a cupping kit. So I've actually took a top kit at the expense of using it as a cupping kit. But now I just literally I've got them, that one piece, obviously it's labelled the cupping kit as well, one piece, and then them 2 top pieces where I can change. So I can fish with short kits or long kits, and sometimes I do use a bit of both. So sometimes, say if I need the extra length to an island, I'll have to use a long kit, or if I need to, I can swap it to my short kit. I can literally just change a piece on my pole, have the cut ready and just swap it over, nice and quick, nice and easy. But yeah, that's a little setup we've got. That's what you get with the package. I'm not going to unwrap that one, I'll have to do it in a minute. But yeah, you've got 2 short kits, a cupping kit there, 1 match kit, an F1 kit, and then 3 carp kits. So yeah, we've got a new pole. I'm really excited. I'm going to get these top kits with some elastic in, mainly my short kits and my F1 kits and the odd match kit. Now with the match kit, you don't actually get it drilled out, because obviously a lot of people like the standard puller bung in the bottom of it for lighter elastics, but you can just, there is a wrap there already done, so you just get a drill kit, you can drill it, and I will get a video out of how to do that for your match kit, so you can get on the bank with a puller kit if you wanted like a single 8 elastic. That's a really nice elastic for this time of year for silvers, F1s and stuff. But yeah, with them match kits you don't get a roller puller supply of it, but there is a bit if you want to pop one in, but everything else is all bushed up. I literally could pull some elastic out the van now, elasticate a couple of top kits, jump on a peg and get fishing straight away. There's no faff with this sort of like kit with the Preston range. You've got a nice hard case for it to come in, obviously a bit of protection on there so it's not going to bash around. Also, your straps in this hard case are nice and sticky, but you can strap them down so nothing's going to fall out like that when you're out in transportation or when you get to the bank or you have everything out. So yeah, that's what we've got. X55. I'm actually looking forward to use it. Like I said, I'm going to get this all back in now, get these elasticated back at home, get on the bank of it, and you'll see it in some future videos now. But I just thought I'd run it through because I do get people speak to me about, oh, Matt, I haven't got as much money to buy X95, which I'm very lucky to have, I know that, and I do appreciate everything I get with that. But I've used M50s, M70s, sort of like X70 I used as well. I have used all sort of ranges in the pole with Preston, and to be honest, obviously I'm very lucky, so I'd be able to use the top of the range one. But if I was looking at my own fishing, I'd probably look at these mid-range ones, because you can give them a lot of hammer, they're nice and strong, nice and durable, and they're just everything you need to be. Now, I don't think you get a short number 3 in this kit as well, but you can always add that to your range as well. But with that, you've got obviously your top kits, your 3 sections of pole with your nose cones, everything's protecting. So that's my X55. You'll see it on the bank soon, like I said. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.